Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, May 26, 2019. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many rules given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And those rules include acknowledging what's clearly true. When our dearly beloved theories are proven to be false, that we let them go.
That's true.
For whom is the message, and why do you ask? And what now to put planet Earth back the way we found it? What now?
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything either, and we still do have all these many fine questions in our bell. We would remind viewers that what we're doing here is channeling angels and godly presences who are affiliated with planet Earth, all of whom have gathered together to try to get humanity to stop destroying the planet before it's too late. And there are two factions upstairs, and one faction says it's really clear that it is too late and that humanity isn't going to stop destroying not only other life but also their own civilization.
That's true.
And the other group is still trying to salvage something of this society of humans, but they're not going about it in a way that makes any sense. They seem to be ignoring a lot of inconvenient reality. For whom is the message, and why do you ask? And we still have all these lovely questions from humanity, so while we're waiting, shouldn't we at least, because you guys aren't saying anything. Are you saying anything and we're missing it? I hear the bellies gurgling, and I feel shifting in chairs, so we know you're there.
That's true.
All right,
in the higher dimensions.
In the higher dimensions, the angels and godly presences affiliated with planet Earth trying to prevent humanity from destroying everything. So can we ask some questions while we're waiting for instructions from you guys? Would it be okay? Yes?
Oh, I think that's a yes.
That's a yes.
Okay, here we go. Our first question comes from a viewer named Matthew. And Matthew asks, how are new souls getting, quote, made? If there is a congestion problem at whichever end, wouldn't shutting down new production until the old ones flush out be the best and simplest solution?
Someone is coming over from kind of like the coffee bar area of the conference room.
That's true.
And they are not necessarily speaking to us. They're making what seems to be an offhand comment to someone else. And it's along the lines of, surely they know about how insignificant they are. Surely they understand how tiny Earth is with regard to the overall scheme of things, and how this is just an absolute nothingness to the bigger scheme of things. Surely they know that, don't they? Surely they know about all the other life on all the other planets, don't they? How can they not know that? How can they not know how insignificant they are?
I hear that presence.
The person doesn't feel angry. It's just they're really trying to figure out what this question could possibly be based in. Say the question again, maybe?
Yeah. Matthew asks, how are new souls getting made? If there is a congestion problem at whichever end, wouldn't shutting down new production until the old ones flush out be the best and simplest solution? I see that detangling motion of the hand.
They're just looking at each other with bafflement.
Yes, all those presences in that higher dimension room.
The angels and godly presences affiliated with planet Earth who are attempting to get humanity to stop destroying Earth so that there is something sustainable that can move forward for life on Earth. They're just baffled, and they're detangling the arrogance from the ignorance. They're pulling arrogance into one hand and ignorance into the other, and they're just trying to see, if we pull out ignorance and arrogance, is there anything left of this question? If we pull away the ignorance and pull away the arrogance, what is left? They feel like they've been that they have been saying repeatedly for a really long time how small Earth is in the big scheme of things, how small this dimension is in the big scheme of things, how unimportant this situation is to anyone other than presences who happen to live on Ground Zero planet Earth, that it's completely unimportant. It's a throwaway, like a frisbee.
Yes, that's
it's
true.
just a throwaway thing. A frisbee, what is a frisbee? It's a cheap toy.
Yes.
Probably costs you could probably get them at the dollar store.
That's true.
A frisbee is an absolutely cheap throwaway toy that you take to the beach, and if you lose it, you don't cry bitter tears.
That's
you just
true.
go home and hope that somebody else has a good day with your frisbee.
That's true.
That these presences say we really need to get how unimportant we are.
That's true.
We humans on Ground Zero planet Earth, we really need to take that in.
That's true.
And be less unpleasant to work with. They're not interested.
I don't think they're interested
saying anything else.
No, I don't think so. They feel like, and now we've closed.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything on that topic anymore. Next. That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying, and they all seem to be in agreement about that.
They're all in agreement. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry, we're supposed to be relaying the questions of humanity. And
that's true.
the unfortunate part of it is that the questions that are in the bell are the best questions.
Oh, yeah.
There are plenty of other questions that don't make it to the bell that are
true.
really offensive.
That's true.
And these are the best ones. I'm sorry. Out of all of Gabriel's experiment, these are the best questions that we have to offer. Now, we're not pulling them out in any particular order. They're in the bell, and so they're coming out in the order that you guys are having them come out.
That's true.
Maybe the next one will be better. Maybe that was the worst question in the bell.
Could
or maybe
be.
it was the best
It might
question
be the best
in the
question
bell. We don't know.
I don't know.
Are you ready for another one? Or do you want to tell us what now to put planet Earth back the way we found it? Because that's our question.
That's true.
Our inquiry here. We really want to know, how can we put planet Earth back the way we humans found it? And we think we would have to go back to before the Industrial Revolution.
That's true.
And maybe earlier than that, but definitely before the Industrial Revolution. What now to put planet Earth back the way we found it? And if you don't want to answer that, how about another one from the bell? What now to put planet Earth back the way we found it?
They don't want to answer that.
No, they'd rather have one from the bell.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Our next question comes from a viewer named Taylor. And Taylor says, "Hi, great video.
Thank you.
Could you talk about dreaming? What are dreams? Why do we forget them so easily upon waking up? Thank you."
Somebody is interested in answering this question.
I feel that presence.
Here is somebody in that higher dimension room of angels and godly presences affiliated with planet Earth and attempting to get planet Earth sustainable once more, to get humans to stop destroying planet Earth.
Yeah.
And there is somebody who wants to answer that question. And the
that
first
presence.
part is really important to get. And that's that dreams are real experiences. Dreams are real experiences.
That's true.
Dreams are real experiences. They are occurring in another dimension. They're not occurring in this dimension of Ground Zero, but they are every bit as real as the incidents that occur in this dimension. They're just occurring in another dimension. And to really get that, and until we really, really, really get that, this conversation is stuck at the starting gate.
Yes.
And the second point
That
about
same
working
presence
with
is
dreams.
speaking.
Yes, thank you. That's that same presence, and that same presence is saying the second point is to really detangle who is the dreamer.
Yes.
And in this era where souls and bodies seem to have lost their grip upon each other, and they're just kind of like slipping through each other's lives.
Yes, that's true.
A dream is something that a soul is bringing into the life, a memory from another dimension, something that happened. And so the first question in working with any dream is, who is the dreamer? Once we get that this is something that actually occurred, it actually happened. Now, who is the dreamer? It is never the life.
That's
the
true.
life is always represented in the dream, and often the life is represented in the dream like a car or a vehicle, a way to get something, or like a house, or a building, a place in which to live, because those are the two ways in which souls relate to lives.
Yeah.
A life is a vehicle to accomplish something, to get somewhere, or a place in which to live or work.
Yeah.
So some kind of building or some kind of vehicle. Find the buildings and vehicles in the dream and consider that means me, quote unquote, the life.
That's right.
Because humans tend to think of themselves as me, quote unquote, the life.
That's right.
So you are the house or the vehicle in the dream, or building. There's always a structure, a house, a building, even if it's just an open deck.
Yeah.
Or an area outside. You are the outside area. You are the deck.
Yes.
Now, the humans in the dream, the presences who look like humans, those are the souls.
Yes.
And now, to observe the souls, you are observing the lives who remember their dreams, catch their dreams. It's like catching a butterfly in a net.
Yes.
You are observing a happening between souls or among souls, or that occurred to souls in another dimension.
Yes.
As to why they're difficult to catch, it's like Marie Antoinette. When she moved from Austria, she was a member of the Austrian royal family.
That's true.
When she moved from Austria to France, because she was married off, it's kind of like a treaty, pact, that when she crossed at the border from the Austrian Empire into the French Empire, that the French said, we will let you in because we have to, but none of your things can come with you.
That's right.
Not any of your possessions, and not even your clothing.
That's
so
true.
You leave your filthy Austrian clothing in this tent on that side, and you put on our approved French clothing, and then you come out the tent on the other side.
Yeah.
They had this tent set up at the border of France.
That's right.
And that at all interdimensional portals, there are similar cleansing rituals that occur. That having been said, those who intend to capture their dreams can learn to capture them. And the
lives who intend to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The lives who intend to capture their dreams can capture them. And the first point is, don't be lazy.
That's true.
Don't think you're going to remember it in the morning, because odds are you won't.
That's
when you wake up at 2 a.m. and you have the flickering awareness of the dream, to capture it, to write down what you remember, and to take 20 minutes, if that's what it takes, to write it down. And usually, as soon as you catch the tail of the dream, you're able to kind of reel it in and get the rest of the memory.
That's true.
And this is important. You're being given a glimpse into another world, into another dimension. And if you treat it with respect, then you'll be given bigger and bigger and bigger glimpses. And if you treat it with disrespect, what do you think will happen?
You know what this presence is talking about? Is about some things that we can learn about ourselves when we start to pay attention to the clues of the dreams. And he says there are multiple categories of things you can actually learn about yourself. The first is, since you, the life, the tailor, or whoever you are who's listening, you, the life, is the house or the car, what shape is the house or the car in? Is it a well-cared-for car? Is it a fast car? Is it a slow car? Does the house have a great big hole in the roof, or missing walls, or mold? And that's one thing you can start to figure out, is how am I doing in my life based on the condition of the representation of the life in the dream. And then this presence is leaning into the microphone and he's saying, and here's the other thing you can learn that people don't want to pay attention to much, but is really important. The quality of souls in the dream will tell you a lot about the choices you're making in your life. Is the dreamer someone robbing a bank? Is the dreamer someone on the run from the law? Bearing in mind, and he's lifting his finger, that the dreamer always thinks that they're a good person, and that they're there to do a good thing, and they're there to help somebody.
We don't know if they always think that they're to help somebody.
I hear that other
presence.
know
somebody else is speaking.
Yes.
And saying we do know that they do always think that they are a good person. And they're referring to, I apologize, they're referring to this study that has been done on death row inmates.
That's what they're talking
that show
about.
Even though these presences on death row, humans in Ground Zero Planet Earth on death row, who were not only accused but convicted of horrible crimes and who have admitted that they were the ones who did those things.
Yes.
Not the people falsely accused.
That's a different story.
That's a different story, but the ones who actually did it, they will consistently defend their choice to have done that. They will say, I had to do that because of reasons. And that it's no different in other dimensions.
Yes, that's true.
That souls will consistently defend their choices. I had to do that bad thing because of reasons. So it's going to be the same with all the souls coming through your life as dreamers. They're going to consider that they are good and that they had to do those things that they did because of reasons. And so you can't really go with how it feels.
Yes,
you have to
that's
go with
true.
what they're actually doing, because they will say, well, I had to. And then if you observe it and say, well, you're climbing in through the window.
A window.
And stealing stuff.
Yes.
And that's bad. And you don't have to do that. You're choosing to do that.
Yes.
That's a bad choice. And if the host life is attracting that kind of soul, to just be aware of that and to consider if you want to upgrade the choices that you're making in your life so as to attract better quality souls.
That's true.
Does this answer the question? I do see somebody else coming up from even higher.
I also see that presence.
Does this answer the question? Can we read the question again?
Yes, please. Okay, the question's from a viewer named Taylor, who asks, could you talk about dreaming? What are dreams? Why do we forget them so easily upon waking up?
This other godly presence who's much higher, several levels up above the room of godly presences affiliated with planet Earth. So this is a presence affiliated with far more than just planet Earth.
Yes, that's true.
And is saying that when souls pop in and pop out, often they take the memories of the dreams with them, and they're not leaving their records behind.
That's what he's talking about.
And that can happen. And so these bounce dives, what he's calling a bounce dive, sometimes the host life will catch a scent or a feel of it without any conscious awareness. And
That's
so
true.
some soul did a bounce dive. Now again, did the soul do a bounce dive with intent to help or intent to hurt? And remember that the law of cause and effect is real, and so the more you're attempting to take selfless, courageous actions on behalf of the greater good and really try to help this planet from the attackers who are humans,
Oh, yeah.
the better quality bounce dives you're going to be attracting. And
That's
the more
true.
you're participating in the destruction, the more the quality of the bounce dives is going to be kind of questionable.
That's what he said.
Does this answer the question?
Wow, that blows up way up high.
It does. I just see the question blowing up.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's a yes.
I also.